it was a man speaking, and I'm in the shower. He's like, yeah, so like the power animal that connects with Nyx. And in my head, I'm like, owl. He's like, is the owl. So if you find, you know, something like a picture of an owl or an owl symbolism to give as an offering for her, connect with her. A labradorite and the black ones like onyx or tourmaline, obsidian, and then hematite. Now, I just set this table up recently with I don't usually have out or in. When I set up this table, I did use hematite. This piece, a couple more of them over here. I have brought my tourmaline from the cubby holes. It was just funny to see because like hematite's one of those ones that I don't really talk about that often. 3 small pieces of it up here, and then that little block piece. It's magnetic. So I felt like that might kind of connect to stuff too because of all the magnetic weird shit that I had going on during the eclipse. Also, just one of my favorites. It catches the flash better when it's, and I've noticed the person that I would, you know, consider to be twin, anytime I showed them crystals or anything, they also seem to be very much like drawn to labradorite. They're always like, what's this one? What's this one? When it's labradorite. Like one of those stones, starseed stones. Also called the magician's stone, they say. Recently, like my light sources have broken. Wanted to work with her specifically. You would want to take, you know, different offerings to give to her at different times. And these are the ones that they say work really well for her because they're that darker energy. She's the goddess of night. She's the goddess of the dark. When you like look into the mysteries or the myths or the mythology, Zeus is the guy, like, you know, the main dude there. He's the big honcho, right? Everybody was like, you know, oh, we got to pay respect to Zeus. Zeus will kick your ass, blah, blah, blah. Zeus was afraid of Nyx because she was like so powerful. And she's one of the first ones. There was, in the beginning, there was chaos, which we've talked about before when we did Isis and Osiris. Osiris's brother, which is also Isis's brother, which makes them brother and sister, which is kind of keeping it in the family, was chaos. In the mythology for like the Greek stuff, they talk about it too. And in the beginning, it was Chronos, which was time. And then out of time came chaos, so the darkness. And that's her. And Zeus was afraid of her because she's so powerful and he didn't want to piss her off. Also afraid of Aphrodite, though. And I think that's because her power to seduce and her power to, like, you know, make men fall in love or whatever. So, like, he tried to keep her away by distracting her and would, like, you know, send her off to marry. I can't remember who he sent her off with, but the whole point of it was to, like, get her to be, you know, you go over there, deal with him so that I know I'm safe over here. So yeah, he's afraid of her. She's very powerful. People say, I think it just gets a bad rap whenever the darkness or the blackness or the scary stuff is connected. But recently, I did the podcast where I talked about shadow people in it. And that was right around the same time that I was like having all this other shit being like, what in your face? And then again, I got more confirmation, like learning about her. She connects to the shadow. So she doesn't always show up, you know, like these other deities do, or like the archangels, like being a beautiful bright light. They show up as shadow, or they show up in the shadow. And I even said that to my sister when I was recording the the ceremony I did that night. And I could see things all around. And like, I think some people thought I was nuts because it's like my shadow. Like, yes, I know that's my shadow. I know the reason why that thing is there to begin with is because my arm moved in the light and the shadow is there. But within the shadow, they hide, or something hides, and they come through the shadow because it's the darkness. And I was trying to explain that to you know, I'm not nuts. I'm not stupid. I know what a shadow is. But when there's something in the shadow, or the shadow does something that I'm not doing, then I know that there's something else within the shadow. And then there's the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the up and the down. There's duality. She represents the chaos. She represents the darkness, the void. But she also gave birth to light, and she gave birth to good stuff and all of that. And she's from like the underworld or the I can't think of the name of it. There's a name specifically, Tartarus. Tartarus is basically, I think in some people might think of it as like hell or a scary place, the underworld. But even in shamanism, we have the three worlds. We have the underworld, the waking world or the middle world, and then the upper world, which is like the super conscious. And so basically all the underworld is, or the shadowy dark world, scary world, is our fucking subconscious. And our subconscious is powerful. 90% of everything that we do or we're gonna do or that gonna happen in our lives is going to manifest from the subconscious underworld. Conscious of it rather than running from it or avoiding it, and control our creations in a much better way. Theta is where we can access that place that we can change and create and like do stuff to help ourselves shift from a way of thinking to a better way of thinking. And then delta is even deeper. Delta is basically when you're in a deep sleep, helps you to access the information or the different dimension past, and they were like known for their mental capacity, known for their way of thinking or way of looking at what they've introduced to the world, like Nikola Tesla and all of them would have weird practices around sleep. So like I think Ben Franklin was one of them, where it was like he would go to take a nap, but when he did, he would hold this ball, and so if he drifted off to a deep enough sleep, he would drop the ball would roll, and hit this big thing, and it'd make this big sound, and it'd wake him back up, because he was trying to access that state where you're in between the brain waves, because when you're there, you have like these aha moments. Two of them recently was that one of the nights that my foot was on fire, and I was like, I can't take it. So I ended up going online and just grabbing the one that I saw. A few minutes, it was feeling better. I was like, oh, wow, this is better. She would like relax instantly and go to sleep and let go of the tension or the stress that she was probably holding on to. You set your intention of like what you want, and then you make that commitment to it on how you're going to, align with it, or how these mantras or things that you'd want to repeat after you do it or while you're in it or around. These are for serving humanity better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts bring me benefits and advantages that I desire. I have full control and complete dominion over my sensing faculties at this level of the mind and at any other level, including the outer conscious level. And this is so. To project them to any point or place on this planet so as to be aware of any actions taking place, if this is necessary and beneficial for humanity. To detect abnormalities whenever such abnormalities exist within the kingdom on any level and at any depth, if this is necessary and beneficial. And I'm learning to apply the corrective measures and to bring back to normalcy any abnormality found within the kingdom on any level and any depth. New beliefs, which are the truth of all things, which I've been trying to get there for a while and try to help people understand that, because I do believe that. And I do believe that healing, when we do healing, is basically on these levels. Like it doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're doing Reiki, if you're doing shamanism or whatever. The only place I don't find this to be is within the mainstream shit, where like, here's a pill, take the pill and you'll be fine. But even in that, there really is, because the belief of me taking this fucking pill might help me to reap the boop do. That's why those things work, where they give you a sugar pill and the people have the same effects as the people who got the regular pill. It's the belief within the mind that I'm taking this to do this. That's all that matters. Really, at the end of the day, I believe that that's all that really fucking matters, is that belief system that we're holding, what we truly feel, think, and all of that within ourselves, what we've been told, what we've been passed down through the belief systems of the people before us, and just how it is within this existence. And we are seeing more and more evidence of this every day, like the physicists, the scientists, the people who usually tell us that we're fucking nuts and crazy to have a spiritual belief, or the way that people within the spiritual community have thought about this stuff for a long time. You'll see now that, like, yeah, we are in a projection of our own creation. and that everything is vibrating and everything is energy and everything is consciousness, and it's just the matter of how we project into it that is what is going to create and dictate what comes to us through it. Doing those types of things, it is possible, and I believe it's infinite. So like when people ask me about what's going to happen, I tell them all the time, like you're here on this timeline and this is what's set to happen on it, but there's a billion and one options to the left and to the right, and whether you choose to think this thought, feel this feeling, or go this way will dictate which way you go to which outcome, and how fast it happens and how slow it happens, and all of that on an individual level. But you also have other individuals with their own creations and their own dimensions and their own infinite possibilities that they're using. And that's why it's hard to manipulate or create the timeline that goes against somebody else's free will or somebody else's projection. So if I'm projecting that I want to be married to this person by this time, and they're projecting that they don't want anything to do with that, there may be the timeline that will form and create that I can have that happen, but it's going to be very far away from their timeline that they're creating and projecting from. But if there's infinite possibilities, there's infinite versions of all of us. So you just have to find the timeline that person that right now over here in this timeline does not want anything to do with me. I'm going to find the one where he does. But it's going to be a fucking far jump from here. So I've got to change that, create my energy, my projection, my thoughts, my feelings, my energies, my belief systems to align in that way, and then vibrate and allow it to happen by embracing it and kind of releasing the resistance and trusting and knowing that somewhere in all of existence, this opportunity of this thing is present and available to me. But over here, where most people are going to focus and look and get consumed within and pay attention to the most and be bothered by and feel inadequate of and get the belief system wrapped around that they don't like me, they don't love me, and it just keeps them sucked into that version or to more versions that are aligned with that thought and that feeling and that block. And I think that's a way that we get blocked with everything in our lives. Like, I want money, but I came from this family that doesn't have money. And I want money, but money is like blah, 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 blah. And all these beliefs and all these thoughts and all these versions of reality that I'm going through on my timeline, it makes it difficult for me to acquire and attain the existence where that's an easy thing. But occasionally we do it. I've seen it for myself, like where I'm like wicked abundant and awesome and everything's great and all these things are going well and all these stuff's but then the fucking subconscious, which has all these influences and beliefs and thoughts and energy that comes in from underneath us or around us or our past or whatever, get triggered by the action or the non-action of the thought, or maybe not even like in direct connection to something that's going really awesome, but there could be like some little thing some person says or some little bump in the road that we hit that's like takes us off of that path, and we start finding ourselves going farther and farther and farther and farther from that alignment to that awesome existence and creation that was headed really in a great place. Now we're over here. So you got to get back to that one where we were vibrating and creating and existing in alignment. It becomes much easier when we stop letting those things be there to begin with that can derail us. Life is full of bumps, and it's how we handle it that matters. Exactly. And life is full of matter, in this dimension or this place where we exist. It's like everything is matter, everything is vibrational, everything is existing. And it's moving like atoms. And you think of Adam and Eve, right? At the beginning of time, atoms are what brought into the forth these bodies. A collective consciousness that are constantly believing and understanding this concept across the world, no matter what religion, race, or whatever, is that you come into this body, you live in this body, then you pass away. And when you do, you'll know the answers. So as long as we're living here, believing that and thinking that, and everybody else is adding to that existence and that creation, that's pretty much how it goes. That's why the people who've had those near-death experiences, they get up to that light and they go through that tunnel and they leave behind the density of that physical vessel that they were stuck within. They say, we're right. There is this, there is that. Even in that, a lot of people have different examples or ways that it manifests for them. Seems to be a common theme, though. Like, I felt free. I was everything. I was infinite. I felt loved. God is real. God is God. But God isn't what we, perceive in our mind as God. God isn't outside of us. God isn't any physical vessel, being, person, or whatever. It's just the consciousness, which is us. But we have chosen to come down into this existence to do something, to perceive ourselves in this way. But at the end of it, we get to break out of that limited construct or the limited view and see from the vastness that it is, or tap back and get back in alignment to the vastness that is. And a lot of people choose to come right back and do it again, or to clear up whatever thing it is that they had happening. Even people who have the near-death experiences, they choose to come back because their family is upset, or their friends are sad, or something down here isn't finished. Like, they just had a baby. Well, they're not going to leave the baby by the baby's self, so they come back to be with the baby. Or a dad and a mom get in a car accident, and the woman passes away. She's already over on the other side, and the guy's fighting for his life. He'll go, and she asks him to go back and be there for the children and the family members, and he'll come back and be there because it's just, it feels what I should do, or I can't leave them alone, or however. So because I know a lot of us are like, why would I ever fucking come here? Like, why would I want to be here in this dense thing where I forget everything and everything sucks and it hurts and it's difficult and painful? I think there's a lot of reasons why, and we forget it while we're here, because we're here and it's hard, it's difficult. But when we free ourselves again, or we get out of here, we may find, oh wow, okay, and then we choose to come right back in, because we evolve and we grow too while we're here. And it's like a school for the souls, or it's like learning things. Also, a lot of us that have chosen to come here now are trying to save it, because if you look around, a lot of people are adding to the destruction of it, and it's like a living library. So here is like a beautiful library. We don't want to destroy it or kill it or harm it, but that's what's happening. And they have free will here to do the things that we do. So the best way to come in, or to help it, or to make changes, is to become one of the beings here with the free will to make those changes. But unfortunately, when we come in, we forget that that's what we're here to do, or that's what we are, or that's what this is, because we have to go through that density or that energy. I don't know exactly why it happens, or why we can't remember when we come in, but a lot of us are doing it, and a lot of us are remembering when we get here that, like, oh, wait a minute, I think I don't really come from here, and there's something I'm supposed to do. And that's a common thing I've found with all the star seeds. Basically, the psyche, or the thoughts, the consciousness, is the most powerful thing that we have. Because without our structured minds, or without us projecting into the creation the things that we do and the thoughts that we have, and these systems that we set up, it is just chaos. It's just existence, blah, 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 all over the place. And when we come in and we consciously create, and we think and feel and experience stuff, we can calm that chaos. And I just saw this while I was saying, it caught my eye as I was saying chaos, happening for a reason. And some of the reason is us, because we're consciously projecting into it a reason for it to become. But at the core of everything, there's we were the seed, and then that seed split into two, which is the Vesica Pisces, and then the Vesica Pisces split, and it did it again and again and again, and then we get the flower of life, and then we get the tree of life, and then we get the tetrahedron, and all of that, which basically, sacred geometry is the structure of the existence, and its patterns within everything, playing out and rippling through. When you look at the Venus thing, where it's like Venus does her thing around the planet, but if we took a picture of it every day for the, the set amount of time that she does it, she's going to look like a beautiful flower. That's the pattern that she's making within existence and creation. And it's like that with everything. Through the belief systems of I'm inadequate and I'm no good enough and may not even be our own. It may just be passed down from ancestors or whoever came before us. But it's obviously there, and it's obviously repeated in different ways in all these different places for us to decipher, discover, and understand, and then fix or harmonize it through light, sound, frequency, energy, feelings, vibrations, existence, experience, the good and the bad. Because just as much as it sucks to be here sometimes and have that pain of loss or grief or darkness, we have to have it in order for us to have the opposite of it, to know the opposite of it. Because if everything was just all light and love and good and high and dandy doo, you'd be bored. You wouldn't even know. It would just be what is. So you would just be within what is, with no awareness of the fact that this is like, a possibility that, hey, you should be grateful for that, or you should be, feeling great or happy about this, because there could be bad. Oh, look at that. Create the pathways. Gaia needs you. Act from your crown and heart. Earth chakras, crown and heart. And then creating the pathways. So in all of this science and stuff, or in the belief systems, or within our minds, when we have a bad thought, when we have a bad experience, when shit hits the fan in our lives, we create a thing in our mind. It's like a synapses. It's like, and we believe something. And that belief can make us sick. That belief can make us sad. And that belief is going to, fuck with us until we make a pathway. They talk about this in like the neuroscience. We are free spirits. We can choose to say, no, I'm here to love and I'm here to enjoy my life. So I'm going to separate myself from whatever that thing is that's causing this bullshit, right? And I'm talking about sacred geometry. I was saying all of this stuff is sacred geometry. It's patterned within us, and we have sacred geometric codes to anchor here within the ley lines. Even the ley lines themselves are proof. Helps us to do that. Emotions, water, the elements helps us to do that. Writing helps us to do that. This is a time to try something new and to do things in a different way. You might even visit far off lands or wild natural places. Adventure often entails risk, but without it, it can become lackluster within a life or stagnant. So there is a vast, new, wondrous vista around the corner, but you'll never see it if you don't venture out. Plan a trip, take some classes that get you out of your comfort zone, try new styles, do the same things that you've always done, but in a way that's different. Push beyond your boundaries and step out of character and spend some time in the wilderness. So yeah, basically time to sing a new song and be aligned in these new ways and these new energies. Dream traveler, I keep seeing recently, like things connected to dreaming or dreaming into being or astral travel or lucid dreaming. It says you're a channel for spirit. Trust your intuition and hunches and your gut reactions. This is a visionary card with the message that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't always seem like it. Your higher self and spiritual guides, your ancestors and guardians are watching over and supporting you. I feel like this is going to basically say the same thing we just saw with the other one that was like, hey, go do something, go somewhere. This says move in a new direction. So I feel like it is time for some of us to travel out of the ways that we've been living, to welcome it with open arms. Going on a trip is an exciting process because not only do you learn about the world, you learn about yourself. Card often comes up when you have a chance to go through a process of awakening and understanding even more about the amazing qualities you have to share with the world. Often such journeys can be lonely, but this in itself can teach you that you are never really alone and your angels and ancestors are there for you. The road you are on may be the road less traveled, but this journey is going to be highly beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. If it isn't about covering outer distance, it's about covering the distance within. and you will be evolving every single moment of it. Remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load, because that will make your journey more enjoyable. And there's a good chance that along the way you'll make new friends who will become companions for a lifetime. So we're definitely being called to travel or to do something differently than we have, whether it's, you know, traveling in the like physical material world, or traveling within that energetic world where I was, you know, talking about. Basically, it's like the different levels of consciousness, even. So I put it on paper because it's like a little meme thing that I shared on my story. So you get a orange candle and you put these two glyphs onto the candle, and then you burn it. But beforehand, you want to visualize what it is that you want to manifest. How does that reality make you feel? And then feeling that, allowing that to come to you through that sensation or that alignment too, which is what I was talking about earlier. There's all these infinite possibilities open and available to us in every single moment of every day, but a lot of times we choose to focus on the one that doesn't feel good, or we focus on the one that doesn't look the way that, you know, we want it to look, and that keeps us in that place or that space that's more chaos or more not good. I also have a thing that I wrote up, which is like a little boop boop. Ignite this flame and help me claim the love, the passion, the devotion. Help me spark, releasing dark and attracting all my power. Within this fire, I call desire and fill my womb and soul, requesting light, requesting truth, and releasing all the old. Releasing all the lying fools. I've been good and I've been nice, but I am no longer awaiting fate. I had hope and stayed too long, wasting my love. I know now to say my vows to me and to myself true, and cut the cords and forget that too, because my fate will be better too. Um, my business is abundant, my mind is on its mend. I'm overcoming everyone and everything. Money comes easily, all my desires are real life dreams, which I now live in the 3D. People who doubted me will soon regret the animosity. You know, so I put into it like things that I specifically want to do, but I will make it so that it's not my own specific things, more open for everybody to be able to benefit from that. But like, if you want to do that for yourself, specifically put in like, where do you want to live? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish with yourself? And you don't have to rhyme. Pathways is the thing there. It's like, if you just think about it, not as potent or powerful as if you fucking write it onto paper. And if you put it into your little phone things, it's not as powerful as putting pen to paper. So do that. I was going to do that thing for that specific energy that's coming in with the alignment of Venus and Mercury, which is basically the mind and the love, the mind and emotions, merging those two worlds together. We have that opportunity right now. Also, with this thing with Nyx, Nyx is that energy of chaos and the dark and all of that. So we can call on her to come into our lives to assist us and support us, manifesting magic with Mercury and Venus, the thoughts and emotions. And then Black, if you want to create an altar for her and invite her into your life, work with her every day, or you don't have to work with her every single day, but just invite her into your life to help you to reprogram your mind, help you to figure out what your mind is thinking that's causing the chaos. There's jasmine within the blend that I made for you. I think there's jasmine and rose in it. So you could use that. I like that. So jasmine and rose together is like, that love within the darkness, and then, integrating that love within ourselves and our souls and our subconscious, and engulfing the love around our subconscious programs and the dark thoughts that we have, to fill them up with what they need in order for them to elevate up into the light. Use incense, which they said sage, and like I said, the dark stones, the labradorite stones, the moonstone correlate to her specifically. You can get like a statue of her or you could get like something that represents an owl to work with her. They said dark feathers, if you have a black feather or like a darker feather, she dark and black, boom. And I know this item here, you know, correlates to her, boom. And you have sage, or you have illuminating what's going on. Get a journal to journal. I find that when we want to figure out what our beliefs are that are hindering us, if we just awareness is like the huge thing that we all need in order for us to heal, transform our lives into a better blissful state. Like one of the best ways to do that, he's like all these people who are like millionaires, crazy, like boop, boop, always are doing that. And we are masters of transmutation. The sacred violet flame in Saint Germain is something we can call on too, which I feel like actually makes a lot of sense for her in this energy. That too, for some reason. I think jasmine's actually a white flower, but in my head, when I think of jasmine, I think of that color, that purpley color right there. And that's, you want to envision that the violet flame, Saint Germain and the violet flame, working with you, transmuting your darkness, transmuting your fears, all the lower vibrations. And you can imagine that every doorway you walk through is covered in those flames of the Saint Germain's violet flame that will transmute anything that you've got in your energy field around your body. And just imagine that set of energy and consciousness and healing. Easy to remember. Now I'm like, I have no idea where anything is. But I'm going to do a little engraving of these little symbols here. Basically, a circly head, straight line down for the body, and a straight line across for the arms. That's Mercury. Then the other one is Night Bloom is what it's called. Nice. Other one is a circly head for Venus. Boop, 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 boop. And then a straight down body, straight across for the arms. And then she's got horns. She's got her, what do you call them? Taurus horns. She's like a bone in a china shop. You don't want to fuck with her, she will get you. She's slow to move, but once you start, you don't want to be in the way. Or mess with it too much. All right, so that is that for that. And then on here for this, for the energy of Nyx, I would like to have some wisdom and the eyes to see through the dark. Okay. The candle's weird. It has like little lines in it already, like straight across all the way over on it. But whatever. All right. So every day, you know, one thing I'm grateful for, one thing I'm grateful for, one affirmation, you know, whatever else, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, it's right there with your stuff. And it's obviously small, easy to incorporate into stuff. If you're not a big person into the journaling. I'm a fucking journaler, so this book will be filled in like a week. Like, massive amounts. I found this recently. This is from back when I did the thing that changed my life. I tell people about this all the time. So let's see. 11/11 portal opening. It was like divine gratitude challenge. 11/11 portal was open and shifting was my first thing. And I did 11 things that I was grateful for. I'm grateful I'm free from fear. My mom's getting stronger every day. Being blessed with many gifts. Seeing from a place of love. Being able to share love to all. I did this every day for the whole month. Things that I was grateful for. So you just keep adding and adding and adding. Synchronicity, connecting with the stars. Clear knowing, abundance, dreaming into reality, sleeping puppies, and dolphins. Next month, instead of doing it the gratitude things that I was grateful for every day, I did the affirmations. Results of doing these things on a regular basis, and then things started to change. All these great ideas were coming in. More and more people were showing up. People were like, you know, wanting to work with me. And it just kind of shifted quickly. So this affirmation every day for December. And I don't remember what year this was exactly, but I know it wasn't long after that shit fucking changed really quickly. And it was 2016. So yeah, this was like, boom, did this. And then Jamie left. My dad came. I moved out of that basement. Went into the first house, which was amazing. Started having a lot more stuff happen for me. Then I moved here. My mom died. Fucking shit hit the fan, but my YouTube took off. And I mean, it's always an up and down thing. It's never just always, oh, everything's amazing and great. But I can tell you, when I was living in that fucking basement, it was not nice. It was not easy. Didn't enjoy it. So doing these things and putting it on paper and being committed to it and just shifting the focus from I'm sad and bad and ugly and mad and blah, 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 to I'm grateful that I have this and this and this and this brings more of those good things to be grateful for. I took care of myself in the following ways. I got adequate sleep. I moved my body. I did something pleasurable. I took time for reflection or prayer. A self-care one that's like really big and crazy. This is the self-care one. It's so big, but it's like, have a spot of tea, try new food, acknowledge your feelings, organize your desk, do some yoga, stretch, shake it off. You know, I thought it was cute. I have a hard time writing in books like this, though. Like I'd rather just write it into something else that it's, you know, I set aside to write in. But I like the prompts. I like the way it looks. If I was doing stuff with like people in person, or I had like a weekly thing that I was connecting with people, I'd probably do something like this with them and, you know, write in it then. But I don't know. I have a hard time just like doing it. I got to try. I like it. It's cute. Yeah, I got it at Target. I don't know if you shop there at all, but they have tons of stuff like this in there. And it's for taking care of you. I should just fucking commit to it and do it rather than, I'm like, if I had other people to use it with, because I'm not good enough for just me. Such an ass. Bridget, you deserve to have good stuff too, you know. You don't have to just do it for everybody else. That's how I get to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I never do it just for me. Like, oh yeah, a group of people. Yeah, it's good enough for a group of us, but not just me. Fuck you, Bridget. You don't deserve it. I'm weird. All right, so we put some moonstone out. We got the hematite out. We got the feather, which I feel like is good for us to rise up to a new perspective, for wisdom, for healing. Labradorite, seeing into that energy of the magician. I also brought this over. I don't know why. It's like my little pendulum cloth. Let's see if I could show you. There's a pendulum cloth here that's like a blue color. Is it showing you guys? Yeah, okay. I never know what I'm like doing with stuff, if it's gonna be like conducive. Let's see. How can I? All right, I'm gonna move this. I have my thing too here. These are all candles and items I use for this type of shit. Put this down here. And then put this here. All right. Get the light. Bright light. There we go. I like this too. This is my little. This is like my Saint Germain Violet Flame candle thingy. It's crystal, both of them, and then it's two different pieces. I got it 2 different times, but they like totally match. That's the giver in you, or the giver in us. Yeah, and I like your necklace. So pretty. Oh, thank you. Which one? Oh, okay. I'm like, which one is it? This light thing is, I dropped it recently and broke the thing off of it that like kind of keeps it from being so too bright, but the other ones are all broken. I keep messing up my light sources. There's probably Nyx being like, man, we need dark. Just smashing out all my lights. These remind me of wings. These are both obsidians that I got different. I got them at the same time, but they're like both sides of the wings. And black rattle, brown rattle, moldavite, moldavite, and okay. This Denise. I don't know if this is gonna stay lit. There's a little candle in here, but it doesn't look like it's been. I probably lit it and then put it out quickly one day. Perfect. I need. Oh my goodness. Recently when I had the magnet things going on, this fucking thing became magnetic. I swear to God, it was like sticking to shit, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like this is not normal." And I couldn't convey it. I was so frustrated because like my dad lives in the house. He couldn't feel it. Like I'm like, "Look at everything. It's a magnet." I was so mad because I felt like a fucking crazy person already, and then for him to be like, "No, there's nothing's happening." I'm like, "Ah! Yes, it is." How do you not know? I called him like, downstairs in his room. I'm like, "Can you feel that?" And he's like, "What?" Oh, and this is a witch's broom, kyanite. It's called black kyanite, but it's actually a witch's broom is one of the names for it. Have some of that for this. Then this pendulum is obviously black. So that's good for her. And selenite can also be used for her too. Selenite, moonstone, those ones. Selenite is like Selene. Goddess Selene is the goddess of that type of stuff too. The goddess of the moon, the goddess of the night, goddess of the darkness. So selenite, moonstone, stuff of that vibration will all work in correlation with her and the darkness spirits. This is black lace obsidian, which is a different form of obsidian. It's not just the regular one, it's a different one. Then we've got the Palo Santo. I'm gonna get that going. Interesting. I've never heard of black kyanite. I've seen blue and a green. Yeah, I got it from back when I had been connected to people in my community. A woman that I was really good friends with gave this to me, and this was actually the bookmark in that journal that's over there that I had done all my affirmations and gratitude into. I was using that as a bookmark in it. See crystals again soon. That's like a thing I've committed myself. I'm like, you've got to post these. There's too many of them. You've got to do it. for the Great Spirit and her frequency, her vibration, her essence. And I take this light, this energy, all our power, increasing it every hour, so we know now to say our vows, to forget the past and the pain, knowing that our fate will help us each day, having someone to feel at home and having someone who we know won't roam on the out and within for too long to be in places which left us alone, and all the while in the mind thinking and crying. Our power, our passion, our dreams, all the things that we've wanted will flow in unrestricted. Imagine in your mind's eye the dream life that you want right now, in your eyes, in your home, in your soul. Feel it becoming stronger and stronger as this light glows. Being abundant and knowing that your heart is on the mend, overcoming everyone and everything, invoking your power, igniting your will. Divine Feminine, you should know that you are beautiful. You may not realize, but please listen, because it is time for you to rise. Don't give up. Don't give in. It is time to spark the wisdom as we call on Nyx, the goddess of the dark, the goddess of the night, to embracing the shadow, the secrets, the lies, the things that have been hidden inside. They've made you feel inadequate, foolish, and stupid, that you should just quit. But that is not no expiration. It's infinite, it's endless, just as you are. Even when you cease to be here, you will live on, far above the limits of the land. Calling on Nyx, on the goddess, on the dark, to align your feet with your heart. Every step that you take, bringing closer and closer to the dream of your life, to become the best you that you can be now, free from illusion and free from the pain, free from the life of doing the same. From the subconscious mind, we reprogram, and the flames rise through the feet into the ankles and legs, reprogramming, restructuring, and releasing from restraint, allowing you to go where you belong, releasing the resistance and the lies that have been told, knowing and feeling in alignment inside. Saint Germain fires are transforming your mind, evolving, and you are seeing exactly where you should be. Into your sacral, those fires will burn. Embracing the womb, it is now your turn. Feeling the confidence to embrace the unknown, creating, balancing, bringing your home, loving and accepting
all that you see, every aspect of you, every part of me, and bring it closer and closer every single day. Help us to know the wrong or right way,